2014, we met with one of the gentlemen who have Parkinson's, and he was saying, I'm really happy right now because I've got a Parkinson's. I don't look happy. It's because I can't smile. Because I've got Parkinson's, and now people think I'm angry all the time. Since then, our aim was to bring smiles back for people with Parkinson's by reducing their symptoms. So if I may share one of our videos.
And particularly when we're talking about taking your card out of your wallet, you know, it's the person standing behind you that you can hear tutting. It makes you stressed and anxious, and then it slows you up. And then people get frustrated, so it makes you even more anxious. So I used to love shopping, absolutely love shopping. And now I pick my times when I go because I can't do crowds.
At Charco, we have worked closely with the Parkinson's community to develop the Q1, a non-invasive wearable device that uses tailored vibration to relieve the movement symptoms of Parkinson's, such as slowness and stiffness of movement and freezing of gait. Worn on the sternum using comfortable medical adhesive, the Q1 has been shown to improve the user's movement at the push of a button. The Q1 works by delivering two scientifically validated phenomena, focus stimulation and cueing, which together make movement easier and smoother. The Q1 is easily recharged with the included dock, which doubles as a case for the device and spare adhesives. Small and quiet, the Q1 is discreet and can be easily hidden beneath clothes. It also features medication reminders delivered through vibration, so you can make sure you get every dose on time without alerting everyone around you. We've been lucky enough to work with people with Parkinson's from day one. Our user testers have been instrumental in taking the Q1 from a university project to what it is today.
I just felt as if I moved about freer. I was moving as if I had Parkinson's.
Yes, I feel better. I'm standing more comfortably. Yeah, because you're using. The walking is definitely better. The standing is better.
Yeah. Well, I've watched Celia walking there, and it is 10 times better than the way she was walking yesterday afternoon. But watching you walk there, you're back to the way you were walking last year, doing that.
How do you feel? Can I ask you if you felt any different from the point that we arrived?
Yes, I do feel different.
Can I ask you how you feel different?
I feel better already.
You feel better? Well, you don't look like it.
We were very happy to launch our first limited run of Q1 devices at the end of 2021, and are currently working towards providing all those on our waiting list with their Q1 as soon as possible. We hope you'll join our amazing community of enthusiastic, friendly and like-minded people, and help us on our journey to improve quality of life and bring smiles to as many people as we can. If you'd like any more information or are interested in joining the waiting list, please visit our website or get in touch with us.
So today I will explain to you a bit more about how we brought Smile back for our people with Parkinson's and how we aim to bring more smiles around the world. So unfortunately, there are 10 million people around the world who are suffering from Parkinson's. It is the fastest growing neurodegenerative condition in the world. When we actually started from the university project, we started really listening to what people with Parkinson's, their family members were talking about, what kind of things really helps their symptoms, what kind of things were challenging and a problem through their day-to-day life. And we really identified these three main things. Firstly, movement symptoms of stiffness, slowness, and gait issues really limited their daily activity. Doing even buttons on their shirt, making a cup of tea becomes really challenging with movement symptoms. Secondly, most of people with Parkinson's are managing their symptoms by taking medication. But if you do actually miss this medication timing, then their symptoms can kick in and they can suddenly lose their balance, for example, and it can cause further injuries. So it's really important that they take their medication on time. Thirdly, tracking symptoms of Parkinson's is actually really, really important when it comes to quantitative and qualitative of symptom tracking. There are lots and lots of symptoms, not just motor symptoms, but also non-motor symptoms that people with Parkinson's have. They usually go see their clinicians in about 6 to 12 months, depending on the country that you're in. But when you go see them, to update them about how they've been doing in that 6 to 12 months is extremely challenging. So what Sharko have done is we have developed a medical device and software to tackle these issues. Firstly, by providing focus stimulation and cueing, we're improving their movement, and I will go into more details shortly. Secondly, while you're wearing the device, it's also providing you a medication alert so they don't miss their medication. Thirdly, we are using the device and also the software to track the symptoms of Parkinson's, whether it's motor or non-motor symptoms. So the biggest question really goes into how does this wearable non-invasive device reduce the symptoms of Parkinson's? Really interestingly, from 19th century, Professor Sharko, who's the father of neurology, realized that people who come to him on a carriage ride had better symptoms than him actually visiting them. Since then, there are lots of studies around focused vibrotactile stimulation and whole body stimulation, but what actually they're saying is that focused stimulation is reducing the beta oscillation, which is resulting in decrease of the symptoms of Parkinson's. Cueing is a metronome type of stimulation that is also helping with the broken parts of the brain, and we will show you a demonstration of freeze of gait is one of the most debilitating symptoms of Parkinson's, where people are walking fine and they basically get stuck on the floor. This is one of the clinical measures that they will be doing with the timed up and go. And you'll be able to see with immediate device on, they can basically use the rhythm of the cueing to carry on with their walking, avoiding the freeze of gait. So what we were able to do is that there were lots of existing incredible studies that were out there where they were looking into focus stimulation and cueing separately. But thanks to our team members actually really combining the clinical research background and also the engineering part, what we were able to do is combine these two technologies together and making it into a wearable device. So we are now publishing a lot of studies ourselves. So just moving on to the application side of the things. While people are using the device, they can also change the stimulation through the application. The other thing that they can do is that they can actually set the medication alert. Then people will have the medication alert through the device. And also they are inputting, as mentioned, qualitative and quantitative measure of Parkinson's. And the really important part of this application is actually looking into collecting the data of what kind of stages of Parkinson's or a subgroup of Parkinson's is benefiting from what kind of stimulation. So we are actively working on Q2 so that we can do a closed loop of actually understanding what stages of Parkinson's the individual have and providing tailored stimulation. Going on to the quantitative measure of the Parkinson's symptoms is it needs to be really useful data for people with Parkinson's, but also we're collecting the data that is relevant for the clinical measures. And it needs to be enjoyable for individuals to do so that we can actually make sure that people are inputting these data day to day. So what we've been doing, and this is one of the examples that we are developing in our application as well as another games, is that we've got a pop a balloon game, and we're constantly correlating the data that we're collecting through the application with the clinical measures of tapping tasks that they're doing. So we're constantly collecting the data and measuring against the golden samples so that we can provide tailored care for people. So this is what we call a queue system. So through the medical device and the software, what we are doing is we are providing an improvement of their movement to people with Parkinson's. We're providing data for people with Parkinson's and people around them, including the clinicians, so we can give a tailored care. So this is how the whole map is looking. With the caregivers and individuals, we are collecting day-to-day data of how they're doing, and we are creating a day-to-day report for individuals, clinical reports for Parkinson's nurses and clinicians, so we can give a tailored care. And if I can use one of the example of medication change when it comes to people with Parkinson's, because unfortunately it's a degenerating condition, you have to constantly look into how we can optimize the medication. But as mentioned, if it's just like 5 to 10 minutes where they get to see them in their whole 6 to 12 months, it's really difficult to adjust this medication to the right dosage. But if you actually collect the data through day-to-day, then you can actually see when their symptoms are getting worse and how they want to adjust the medication depending on individual needs. So we have actually launched the device, as mentioned in the video, in 2021, and we are actively pushing out all the devices at the moment. We are really busy packing all the Christmas presents at the moment. And this kind of uptick that you can see is that that waiting list really grew by people with Parkinson's just going out there and talking about how they've been using the device and actually mouth-to-mouth. And what was happening is that I know there are lots of discussions about, how do we get innovative device into the NHS? We were actually really lucky for NHS to actually contact us saying, could you apply for this tender to the framework, because they've heard about the device through the patients to the clinicians and the clinicians contacting the NHS CCGs. We were able to work on an incredible health economic analysis together with Eastern Assam. We were very, very lucky to get lots of support from institutions and like Parkinson's groups and so on. And what we were able to do is create all the evidence around the device and also the word of mouth to do further research and development of our medical device. So we are a team of, I think it's now 35. We are all coming from kind of research and development, as mentioned, lots of clinical team, engineering team. So every single day we're working together with people with Parkinson's to really understand what is mechanism of action. There's lots of clinical trial going on at the moment, looking into different outcomes, because that really feeds into learning more about how we can optimize stimulation even further. So we are very excited with our journey ahead of us as well as past. And this is kind of like a key story when we actually received this from one of the lady who was saying that before using the Q1 device, she couldn't do mosaic anymore that she enjoyed the most. But because her fine motor improved, that she was able to do this again. And this kind of speaks of, you can kind of say, so what that you can like write better, so what you can walk a little bit better. It actually means a lot for individuals. So here we are. I always say that they're almost like our ambassadors. We don't actually have like a marketing team yet, but people with Parkinson's actually going around and sharing how their symptoms improved have been an incredible journey for us. So together as a Sharko team members, we are always thinking about how can we improve their life better. So quality of life becomes the main important thing for our team. So together we always talk about how do we bring more smiles to people with Parkinson's. So that's Sharko. Thank you very much.